Whether the abuse is physical, sexual, psychological, mental, emotional, a lot of times we find with our clients here at White Horse Ranch, one of the most common symptoms, there's a wide array of symptoms, but one of the most common that we find is just an overall lack of trust. Another thing we find is a lack of boundaries, whether they're boundaries with ourselves and not letting other people cross our boundaries, or respecting other people's boundaries. And with these horses, they push us to develop a little bit of assertiveness with them. They are 1,000 pounds, and if we are very passive in working with them, they're gonna probably kind of push us around. It teaches you how to be assertive, teaches you how to establish those boundaries that says, this is my boundary. You cannot push me around and come into my space. In the same sense, the horses have their boundaries. Maybe they don't like their belly being scratched. You're gonna have to learn how to respect that boundary. It raises your self-esteem, and then it just kind of becomes a snowball effect of like, hey, I established a boundary, I set this line, I've communicated that with my horse has learned to respect that. It takes those same type of communication skills in dealing with humans. Treating more the trauma and the symptoms of the trauma, and whenever we can treat the symptoms and give the girls the skills that they need to work on the symptoms, the trauma itself becomes easier to treat. Like last week, whenever we talked about addictions, the addictions almost subside. It becomes a whole lot easier to say no when we don't necessarily have a reason to use. So the process whenever it comes to healing from abuse is very client-driven. Sometimes we have clients that come in here and they might be overly confident. The horses don't necessarily take somebody new just coming up to them being bossy, thinking that you're just gonna walk out there and show them what's up and pull them around and do whatever you want. They're gonna be a little standoffish and hesitant. They're not gonna trust you right off the bat like that. You're gonna have to develop a little bit of a relationship with them before you approach them with overconfidence. They need a leader, but not somebody that's overly confident. The trust won't be there, and it'll set the clients back a little bit until they develop that trust. If you're interested in equine therapy for healing abuse, whether it's physical, sexual, psychological, mental, emotional, I highly recommend checking out White Horse Ranch. We have many success stories and testimonials.